Hello guys, this is a video of the learning history. I am Alice and welcome to my channel. Today we will have a journey through time over this city that although we will never have been in our lives, we feel familiar with all the films that we have been put up about this city, about its iconic monuments, its almost eternal attractions, and there is always a person who he would like to go at least once in his life. And today we are going to do a short but fascinating story about New York City. So let's start it. Since the end of the 19th century, New York has been one of the centers of the world economy, art, communication, culture, immigration, and, above all, the American dream. But 1400 years ago, this land was only a set of territories surrounded by much water and inhabited by the natives of that time. The territory made up of New York City, that is, the five counties of Boroughs: Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, and Staten Island, was formerly a green land under the command of indigenous tribes of the tribe of the Lenape, but with the European installation in this part in 1614 at the hands of the Dutch, in the area began to be called New Amsterdam, and they began to specialize in the fur trade. Although this time of the Dutch was very productive, in 1664 the English conquered the city and renamed it New York in honor of the Duke of York and Albany. New York remained part of British rule along with the 13 colonies for a little over 100 years until the United States War of Independence, in which it was successful and independence was declared, and then the first president of the United States was declared the famous George Washington on Wall Street in 1789, and New York remained the capital of the United States until 1719. After the United States Civil War at the end of the 19th century, New York was the world center of immigration of Europeans, from which millions of people came until the middle of the 20th century. This caused an overcrowding of people in the city, causing health problems, housing problems, and even employment problems. At the beginning of the 20th century, New York began to see its gaze towards the sky with the beginning of large-scale construction of towers and buildings, many of them reaching more than 100 and 200 meters. Starting with the Chrysler Tower, inaugurated on May 27 from 1930 with a height of 318 meters and 77 floors. Then, as a kind of competition, the Empire State Building surpassed it, and it was the largest building in the world for 40 years until the construction of the World Trade Center, that took it away from the position of the largest building in the world. If we see an analysis of this building, were all made in New York City, specifically in Manhattan. After the Second World War, New York is emerging as the most important city in the world, being ratified with the construction of the main building of the United Nations organization, giving it a legitimacy of this political power as the center of the world, also having some of the largest population on Earth and one of the largest cultural diversity that can exist on the entire planet. All of this gives it that sense of legitimacy as the capital of the world. Moving into the second half of the 20th century, New York begins a difficult period with the rise in crime rates, racism, economic problems, violent demonstrations, and also in the 1980s there was a resurgence of the financial industry along with improvement of health, hip-hop's new cultural fad, drugs problems, and inequality were more than evident, with a large difference in the wealth that the Manhattan area had compared with the very poor area of the South Bronx and with poor quality of life. Since the 1990s, racial tensions began to calm down. Crime rates had dropped dramatically, and waves of immigrants began to arrive from Asia and Latin America, which came to give a positive change in the view of New York as a unequal city. And this began to restore the splendor of the world capital. In the sport area, the most acclaimed sport team is the New York Yankees, as this baseball team has been seen as the representation of New York power and from a force that can be reached. From the 21st century, New York was emerging to retake the reins of power as an economic, communication, sports, cultural capital, and others. But one fateful day of September 11, 2001, took away all those dreams of getting ahead, with a balance of almost 3,000 deaths in the 9/11 attacks, creating a drastic change in American lives, lives that are manifest even today, and that despite the fact that at times they want to see a defeated New York was quite the opposite. They saw a strong population united and with eager to move on, and today New York has been able to retake the real rates with a satisfactory quality of employment, and although the quality of life is expensive, you can live where in New York. Thank you all for watching my video. Please subscribe in my channel and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.